What's going on, guys? We're back at it here in the garage, and we're gonna be putting graphics on the plastics. So before we get into it, I just want to show you kind of the theme we went with. It's just a black, a gray, a white, and a yellow accent color. Here's the front number plate, went with number 94, because that's the year of the bike. So this is what we're going to be doing for the next, it's going to take me a few hours, and I'm probably going to speed through it and show you the process as I go along. So some of the final touches here. Here we go. think what I'm going to do now is cover this entire side because I need to work on the other side of the tank. And I don't want to scratch this up by grinding it into the bench while I'm pushing hard on the other side of the tank. And I think the best way to do that is going to be to cover it with masking tape. And then just peel the masking tape off later. Hey guys, I wanted to jump in here and tell you a little bit about this piece of the project. This is the final piece of bodywork, and it was by far the most challenging because the fender, when Yamaha designed it, they went from rapidly concave to rapidly convex surfaces and back again. So you'll see here as I work through this, I start from the center, I establish contact with the graphic in the center, along the center line, and then I start working out the edges as I go along. The hardest parts, of course, everything kind of gets worked out along this edge right here. All the wrinkles and all the heat that you're applying tends up causing the vinyl to want to get wrinkly as you finish up here. It didn't turn out too bad. You can see there's one little spot right there that I had to go back and cut straight along the edge after we were done here. But generally speaking, I was pretty happy with it. It definitely was the hardest part. I can't imagine doing this without a heat gun and without some kind of fluid to put underneath the sticker to allow it to be peeled back up or to slip around. Again, we're right on the edge with the heat gun of really melting the vinyl sticker, right? So right here you can see I've got a series of wrinkles. I'm just trying to show you guys how that gets worked out. You know, heat it up a little bit and then you go over it with a moist cloth and it kind of smooths it out. You may have to do it 2 or 3 times like this. You'll see after I do this, I get another little wrinkle to rise up using the heat gun right here coming up. And then finally, once it's adhered, it doesn't look too bad, but you can see there's some minor vinyl wrinkles. Like I said, we're right on the edge of melting that vinyl. So you got to be really careful with the heat gun and be pretty cautious. You can't just hold heat on there. Alright guys, so we got a bunch of work to do before we can actually put the bodywork of the motorcycle onto the bike. Let's make a list real quick. We got to take care of all the fluids, so that's coolant and transmission fluid have to go in. We have to hook up the fuel line. We have to tighten the final tighten on the drivetrain, final tighten on the rear wheel, rear axle, final tighten and centering on the front wheel, front axle. We have to put on the mounting points for the front fork sliders so that the plastic sliders can mount to the motorcycle. We have to oil up the air filter and get that prepped and ready to go. We have to mix up fuel. We have to put on all of the little fasteners that belong on the frame and plastic in order to, little things like spring clips that go here on the radiators, things like that. I've got actually a frame protector that belongs here on this side, kind of goes between the subframe and the frame here. And that's close to it. So we've got maybe 10 things to take care of before we actually move on to the next step, which is putting the bodywork onto the bike. And then after the bodywork's on, we actually have to do the seat. So the next steps here are just to get all of the little finicky pieces, bits and pieces for final steps finished off before we start putting the plastic on. Once we start putting the plastic on, it's going to be blocking off a lot of our access to these things. So we want to get everything squared away beforehand. So let's go through, get this thing prepped so that we can eventually put the plastic on the motorcycle.
guy.
Yeah. Oh god. I forgot there's more than one hole.
Pressure. Oh, there's another hole.
Yeah, there's a second hole.
Okay.
Okay. And then a camera. Show this stupidness that happened. Damn it, I should have known. Freaking rookie. Good thing we don't have a dog. He'd be hard to lick in the floor with a damn idiot.
That's the idiot.
For now, what I'm going to do is
Excuse me.
try to get the fluid from the inside of here into a bucket.
It's never gonna work.
Instead of into the floor. Oh god.
This is the most entertaining thing we've ever videographed.
Videograph. Oh, this is a failure. Now.
I'm so entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Well, I'm not a camera person. And then you stood right in front of what I was looking at.
Well, what do you expect here, lady?
Not much from a guy who forgets that there's more than one hole.
Alright. Alright. We're plugging that biatch up right here. Back, right? That's what it's for.
It's never a simple pour liquid in. Except it was that simple. Pour liquid in, watch it come out.
Well, now. So, let's review what happened. I have the hose that feeds the radiators from the impeller plugged so that when you flush the radiators, it will just come out down here. What I didn't account for is once you get to a certain height of fluid in the radiator, so this was plugged right here, but this wasn't. And when I get to this height in the radiator with the fluid then comes down these hoses into the cylinder head, down the sides of the cylinder head, into the water pump, through the water pump and out the hose there. So
interesting.
That's what happened. It just went through the whole engine. Make sure I got fluid into this radiator, and the way I'm going to do that is by tipping the bike. We're basically trying to coax any of the air that's in this left radiator into this right radiator. Check the level, and yeah, I mean it went down a little bit. That's all it took. Alright, let's drain it. I'm done fussing around. We're gonna see what it looks like, and if it's really gross, then we'll make a judgment call.
Holy shit. That's a lot of sand.
Yeah.
Here.
That's why you check that shit.
Yeah, they can kind of see.
The other option is to just take the radiators off the frame and rinse the shit out of them. Alright. Drain number 3. That's pretty clean by comparison to the first couple. Still kind of sucks. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're probably gonna end up pulling these radiators off the bike so that I can put these little spring clips on these lower portions of the radiator. So instead of filling the radiators full of fluid today, I'm gonna leave them dry as they are after having done that test, with the intention of pulling them off, rinsing them out, putting the spring clips on, then reinstalling them all. Or we could pull them off now, rinse them out now, and then just install them later. Now that we've officially gone backwards and taken the radiators off, we have a lot more room to work. I'm going to take advantage of that space to work by putting the oil in. And I didn't have a lot of space for this funnel before, but now I have a ton of room. So I guess there's one good positive outcome of having to go backwards. So the oil engine oil capacity is 800 milliliters. So we're going to measure that out precisely and get that in there. So we'll go for 500 and 300. And it's okay if we're slightly low on the 300 because there's maybe a tablespoon and a half or 2 tablespoons in there already. Okay, we're in the house and we're rinsing out radiators because I couldn't think of any better option and flushing it on the motorcycle wasn't working out. So we're just gonna rinse them out in the sink here. We have one here. We have one here. Hey guys, so I hate to do this, but we're already 20 minutes into the video. That radiator issue really messed with me in terms of timeline. So what we're gonna do is end the video here. This is all the stuff that's gonna be going on the bike in the next episode. So we'll start off with where we left off here, with the radiators, getting those things back on, then the exhaust, and we'll move forward from there. So I hope you look forward to the next episode. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. This is a giant pile of work that we have in front of us, and we're nearly there. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.